walked the Pacific Crest Trail, and I want to walk the CDT. Yeah.
I'm leaving it up to you to tell the story, the Who is Aiden story. Are you funny? Like, are you witty and funny?
I really, really wish I was. And I really, really like people who are. I'm not. At all. And I get mocked for it.
You try jokes and they don't come off?
Right. And I think that's why I can appreciate humor so much. I think it's a gift in disguise. Because I really, really appreciate the people who can be funny and who are funny. Even if it's not very good, I get it. And I appreciate that they try.
Who's the funniest person in our family?
Oh, that's not a fair question.
It is.
No, it isn't.
I don't think anybody will be offended. Is that your worry?
No, it's not like... There's so many. Like, Aslan is like Uncle Benny. She has a lot of his personality. But he also has his own personality, which is just as funny. Like, and Uncle Timo's hilarious, for different reasons. Aunt Lucia's funny. She's constantly laughing, and that makes me laugh. Henry's funny. He gets some good laughs out of me. But it's in like a sarcastic way, snarky way. Even Junie's funny in some ways. She's super goofy. So I don't know who's the funniest person in the family. I definitely wish I was funny.
You like to babysit, right?
Yeah.
Is that your favorite kind of all the work that you do? That's probably your favorite.
It's easiest. You get paid really well for it, I think.
Oh yeah, you probably have the biggest bank account of anybody in our family.
Possibly.
Well, of our family, immediate.
I get paid well, and kids really, really like me for some reason. I don't know. I don't even know what it is. I don't really try that hard, but they really like me. And I really like kids. I really enjoy them.
You had an interesting high school experience, Ado.
Yes, I did.
You dropped out for a year, so you got to be a dropout.
Yes.
You were an IB student, and then you were an IB student again.
I came back to be an IB student again, and Georgie said, and I think she's right, I'm the first IB student to ever drop out twice.
You got to drop out
twice.
There's
no way that's happened before.
So you dropped out and went into a bunch of AP classes, but they weren't very tough.
They're not tough. Yeah, it's all AP and honors classes, and they're not tough at all. What if somebody from those classes watches these? Fine. They're hard for certain people who have not had the education I've had.
Or the exposure.
The exposure right? that I've had.
Well, it's like anything.
So different.
It's like anything, though. But think about it like a long day of walking, right? When we first started out, 12 miles was hard.
Yeah. Now I hear people complain about 5 miles, and I just smirk.
Right, because now you've worked your way up to 30.
Yeah.
So the same thing happened for you in school.
Exactly.
You worked your way up to doing what you wouldn't have known was possible. Those people that you're now in classes with haven't had the experience of being an IB, and so they haven't had to work that hard.
It's very different.
Yeah. So that's what I think. So you want to go to college?
Yes.
What do you want to study?
I don't know really. I've been looking at architecture for a long time, and I really would like to be able to somehow use the skills I have and do that at some point in my life. But I like the idea of architecture to help people, like to help their physical needs and their mental needs, and I don't know, just be helpful to their like everyday mood and environment. Like the environment that you are in has a big effect on how you think and how you live. So I think that, like, ultimately it's not going to change the course of your life, but I think it could be very helpful to people who like live in the north where it's like cloudy all the time. Like, I know there's a lot of depression in areas like that, and I think that if you made their environment that they were living in different, then it might help them, and there would be less medical need or whatever. But I just think I think that could be achieved through like majoring in like psychology or like some kind of maybe even biology, like study of the human body or something, because I want to be able to affect people positively through architecture. But I think the best way to do that is probably through studying psychology first. I'm really just going in circles, but I think...
You sound like a psychologist.
Sure, I'm a psychologist. I've already started. Yeah, I'd like to be able to help people.
Have you thought much about psychology or like the psychology of a thru-hike? Like how thru-hiking affected your thinking, or did it in any way?
I don't know that it really affected my thinking. I was only like 16 when I did it. And sure, it was cool.
Yeah, that's like 2 years ago.
It was life-changing, but it's not like super life-changing. Like, yeah, it happens. Not much has changed. I mean, I feel like I'm more accustomed to like weirdness now. Like I can do weird.
You can adapt.
I get weird. I get it. I get, like, if we're talking about the trip around people who have never heard of it, they're completely weirded out by it, and I'm totally fine
so
with it.
how about this? Do you think there's any way that your experience of having done something like that, do you think there's any way that affected your response or interaction with the coronavirus stuff? Like all the stuff that happened as a result.
Well, let me explain. My reaction to coronavirus is not great. I don't like to think about I don't know. I wasn't really. I didn't like hearing everybody talking about how terrible it was going to be and how depressing it's going to be with all these people dying, and I don't like to think about that. That's too depressing for me. So
if you had to say, you would not
I tried to avoid it. I tried to avoid thinking about it.
So if I said, are you Chicken Little? Or are you the Emperor's New Clothes?
Wait, what?
Are you Chicken Little, like the sky is falling?
Right.
Or are you like the Emperor's New Clothes
Like
person where you say, this is all just a bunch of hooey? Or are you an ostrich? Which one
There's
are you?
its head in the sand. Ostrich. Probably ostrich. I don't like to think about it. But I don't
What I
like
mean, I guess what I
life.
mean is when everybody's freaking out about toilet paper.
Right, okay, I think that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous in the sense that I don't think there's going to be a big problem with toilet paper unless you all freak out and go buy it. Then there's going to be a problem because stores aren't going to carry any.
Oh, so you didn't think,
I didn't think,
who needs toilet
the first
paper?
thing I need for coronavirus is toilet paper, duh! Like, that's not what I thought. I don't think I'm surprised that anybody thought that. Like, I don't think that's an essential.
Are you familiar with the backcountry bidet?
Yes, I am.
Do you think you could survive without toilet paper?
Yes. I think anybody could survive without toilet paper. I think you would be fine. I think probably hiking did help that a little bit.
Yeah.
Definitely can understand that.
When you encounter challenges or obstacles, or when you encounter challenges and obstacles, what's your reaction?
Well, if I want to take it on, then I'll take it on and carry it through. If I don't, then
Yeah.
I'll turn and look the other way. Like what kind of challenge?
I don't know. For example, it might be difficult to do the thru-hike in this current climate. Do you think, there's probably ways we can figure out how to do it and do it safely?
Yes.
Or do you think, oh boy, this will never work out?
I think yes, easily we could. I don't think it would be that hard to figure out how to do it. I think as long as they didn't shut the trail down, or the towns, or whatever it is that they're thinking about doing, I don't think it would be that hard to get around all of that and to do it safely. I mean, if you're outside all that much, and there are such things as like safety call buttons and whatever, I don't know if they'd be.
One of the
taken
complaints
away.
is that people are going out there and needing first responders, and the first responders
They're
are
not there. They're helping with the virus.
well, they're needed elsewhere
Right.
currently. But it is still a long way from the end of June, so a lot could happen, I suppose,
Yeah.
theoretically.
Well, I think if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it at your own risk. Henry.
What?
Stop.
Not moving.
We're on our very first training hike for the CDT, and you're kicking the back of my feet, and I'm going to trip and fall on my face. But other than that, what do you like about it?
This walk?
Uh huh.
Nothing.
I mean, it's a new walk. We haven't done it before.
Yeah, that's new.
And where are we again?
Lakeland? No, Florida.
I was talking park names specifically, but it's fine. I think we're at Mosaic Peace River Park. Right?
Peace River something park. It's like...
Yeah. Well, that's eventful. I'm not very good at this.
Yeah, you're terrible.
This is why we're practicing.